Friday, everybody. This is your workout for today, March 27th, 2020. Today, guys, we have a hero workout. As most of you already know, it's Friday. Today, we're going to do a special hero workout. That workout's in honor of Gil Cortez. Gil Cortez was an officer over here, a correctional officer here at CCR, and he was a Norco resident. He was raised in Norco, went to Norco High School, knew a lot of our member base that work out here, that work over at the correctional facility down the street from us. So again, guys, today is a very near and dear workout to our hearts. We have a bunch of different modifications for you today, which we'll go over here in a second, but I definitely wanted to take a second and let you guys know the why to what we do with this in particular hero workout, okay? So again, this is gonna be your workout for today. All right, so warm up today, guys. We're gonna go through 3 sets. This should take about 10 minutes. If it takes a little longer than that, don't stress it, guys. I'd rather you get a little bit more warmed up for this one than not be warmed up enough. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna go through 3 sets. You're gonna start off with a 200-meter jog. Again, guys, you can jog out for a minute or jog down and back somewhere. Take like 30 to 45 seconds, even to a minute. That's completely fine. After we get done with that, though, we're just gonna go through 5 basic push-ups, guys. The one thing I do want to talk about, though, for a second is your guys' push-ups. You guys have done a really good job, but the reason I bring this up is because I've seen these challenges going around of people's push-ups, and they're some of the most frustrating things I've ever seen in my life. Make sure your shoulders are in a good position. What I'm tending to see a lot of, guys, is elbows flared out here, especially if we lack chest strength. What we'll try to do is kind of put that into an awkward position to our shoulders and where we can press out with the tricep a little bit more. Remember, though, we want to utilize as much of that as possible. So try to think about being in a nice neutral position with our push-ups here. I'm just going to kind of demonstrate this from this angle. And as we come in, try to think about being neutral, okay? So my elbows are kind of just off to the side here, kind of like at a 45-degree angle here. So I'm not flared out. I'm also not tucked in here, right? So I'm nice and neutral as I press, and that's going to allow me to use a lot more of that musculature to just help me get up. Okay, now again, if we lack that chest strength, that pec strength, try to focus on that. Maybe do some more narrow grip push-ups or getting your hands into some different positions just to kind of strengthen that. It's important, guys. Again, it'll save your shoulder health a lot in the long run, so something to think about as we do push-ups. After that, though, we have 10 air squats, guys. Not too much to be said about those. Let's just focus on making sure we're getting full range of motion. Always grabbing the floor with our feet, creating a nice, good kind of amount of tension in those hips. So I always talk about this, guys, but I'm just gonna, for a second, take my shoe off and kind of show you this demonstration here as I squat. You may not be able to see this, but if you can, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to literally grab the floor with my feet, and that's just gonna allow me to build some tension there, right? So as I do that, you'll notice, maybe not, black socks probably not a good plan here, but you'll notice that I create an arch with that foot, okay? So it's something I've been preaching about a lot since we're talking a lot about air squats and how to properly do them. Again, just try to think about grabbing the floor. That doesn't mean we put all the weight to the outside of our feet, guys. That simply means that we're just grabbing the floor, creating an arch, and trying to keep 3 points of contact: your big toe, your little toe, and your heel, okay? So something to think about as we go through those air squats there. And then again, like I said, just nice full range of motion as we squat down, and then just driving all the way up to standing position. 10 step-ups after that, guys, or 10 step-ups. You guys can step up to a box if you have one. If you don't, however, doesn't need to be anything fancy, guys. Just find something roughly like 18 to 24 inches tall and do them from there. But all we're gonna do with that, guys, is if we have, I just have a bench here, so we use that. Just make sure we're stepping up. As we step up, we're not driving off that back foot. I'm trying to push off that front foot as much as possible, and that other foot's just kind of along for the ride. After our 10 step-ups, that will be 5 on each side. You guys are then going to go into a 20-second, what's called a prayer stretch. You guys can use pretty much anything on an elevated surface for this, but the prayer stretch, guys, is a really good way to get under our upper back, as well as our shoulders, our triceps, as well, just to kind of get us into a good front rack position. I'm a big fan of this one. I kind of do this one daily as it is, regardless of what I'm doing, just because I think it's really good to kind of open up the upper back. But you're going to come down. So you're just going to plant on all fours, get your elbows onto the bench or box, whatever that may be. And then all you're going to do, guys, is put hands together. Then you're just going to drop down, and you're going to bring those hands behind you. So you're getting a nice stretch for the triceps, the shoulders, the lats, all that good stuff there. If you have a PVC pipe, I actually prefer to do this with a PVC pipe. It allows you to kind of build some external rotation with the shoulder, just meaning that hand going out. Just helps us get into a better front rack position overall. But if you hold the PVC pipe a little wider here, it allows you to kind of get into that and work a little bit of external rotation with the shoulder. So just an option if you guys have it handy, play with that a little bit. But like I said, we're just trying to kind of get everything in the upper back nice and warmed up, okay? So again, we're going through 3 sets of that total. All right, so hero workout today, guys. It's Red Friday. Make sure to be tagging us in those red shirts. Better have red shirts on. We have Cortez and Maddie. These are 2 hero workouts. They are kind of one and the same, but they are separate. Now with that said, guys, Cortez, just like we were talking about earlier, was very near and dear to our hearts. We have a lot of members in here that knew Gil, and they come in here every year, typically around this time. It's kind of a bummer this year, we can't do it, but they come in here. We have a bunch of people come in from the correctional facility down the street, and they allow us to put on this hero workout for them. They have a bunch of people come in. His wife typically comes in as well. It's just a really cool thing that we get to do every year, so I'm kind of bummed a little bit that we can't do it, but luckily, you guys will still be doing it at home, okay? Now that being said, the workout itself, guys, it starts off with a 12-minute AMRAP. This portion is for Gil Cortez. Now the 12-minute AMRAP, guys, is gonna consist of the RX version being 3 burpee bar muscle ups, followed up by 25 thrusters with an RX weight of 95-65 for men and women respectively, and then finishing with 13 box jumps, okay? Now, if we have the equipment to do that, awesome. I'm not gonna spend much time doing that, or talking about that, I should say. I'm gonna spend most of my time talking about how we can modify this, how we can scale it to make it appropriate for everybody, okay? Now, starting off, guys, with our limited equipment track, if you guys are doing Cortez, you're gonna start off with 3 burpees, followed up by 3 bent over rows with your odd object or your dumbbell, okay? So for the limited equipment, it'll be with your dumbbell. If you have 2 of them and you can do that 3 times, it's not very many reps, guys. We're just trying to get some pulling in there. That's perfectly fine. If you only have 1, you can do 3 single arm. That's perfectly acceptable as well. So what that would look like, guys, is if we have a heavier dumbbell, you can come here, bring the dumbbell into our chest. Just make sure as we do these rows, regardless of how we do them, we're thinking about driving the elbows back and kind of using our lats more so than bringing our dumbbell or odd object up to our chest here and kind of flaring those elbows out, okay? So that's an option there for the bent over row. Your burpees, guys, not too much to be said about that. I think we've done enough burpees to where we all know how to do it properly. Just make sure we're getting all the way down to the ground, standing all the way up and clapping. After our 3s, we're going into 25 thrusters. It's a lot of thrusters, guys. I know we've done some this week. Don't hate me. But thrusters wise, you guys can use your odd object. You can use a single dumbbell. You can use both dumbbells. Either way is fine. You can also just do a single arm dumbbell thruster. Either way is fine. You gotta kind of make it what you need it to be for you based on the weight you have, right? The 25 reps, here's what I will say. We should be able to get those done in probably 2 sets, maybe 3 sets at the most, okay? It's 25 reps. That would be something like, 10, 10, 5, or maybe we go 13, 12, something like that, okay? So again, just trying to maybe practice a few of those before you get started to make sure that it's appropriate for you. But again, now, guys, with the thruster, if we're doing a single dumbbell, you guys, or you wanna use both hands on a heavier dumbbell, you can go here and perform your thruster from this position, keeping the chest tall, arms come up and overhead, or if you guys have both, I don't have another one in hand right now, but you can imagine with both, it would be just a dumbbell thruster coming all the way down, pressing both dumbbells up, or we can do that single arm dumbbell where we have it on one hand here, or one shoulder I should say, dropping down to that squat, driving up, and then just coming up overhead. You can do 5s on that, however you want to approach it is entirely fine. I would suggest kind of switching off more often than not though. I wouldn't do like 13 on one arm and then 12 on the other. I would try to switch off a little bit more. That's going to be for our thrusters with the dumbbell for our limited track. For no equipment, guys, as always, let's grab that backpack. I'm trying to pretty much make everything appropriate for a backpack. Now with that thruster, we've gone through that with the odd object. You guys can grab it here, place that in the front rack position, squat down, drive up, and then just finishing with that odd object overhead, okay? So that's gonna be the 25 reps of that. After that, again, going back to our box or whatever we're stepping up to, jumping up to, you guys will have that handy. You guys can jump, you can step up. Either way is completely fine. Just make sure that as we do so, guys, we're fully extending at the top of each rep, pushing those hips through, okay? So again, that's gonna be for the step up portion. If we need to modify things, guys, let's say you only have something this high. What you can also do, if it's too high to jump on, is place some stuff underneath to raise that level of the flooring up so that you're not jumping as high onto that object, if that makes sense. So if I were to jump on this from the sandbag, for instance, it's less of a jump. Make sure, obviously side note though, it's solid. You're not worried about falling or something like that. It needs to be something that's going to be pretty sturdy as you jump off of it, okay? So again, only do that if you can. Now, the 13 step-ups, guys, if we're doing those, we can alternate. I understand it's that it's an odd number. You guys can just do 13, finish on one side on one set, and then finish on the other the next set. Not a big deal, guys. One step up or one extra step up on each leg is not going to make or break you, okay? But after we get done with Cortez, we're then going into Matty. Now, Matty, guys, the reason Matty's a part of this is Matty happened to be Gil Cortez's his canine, his service dog. So with that, guys, you have Matty. When the whole situation happened with Gil, actually passed away with him as well. So Matty, guys, is a nice little just remembrance of his Belgian Malinois, because it's very important to him. Okay. That being said, Matty, guys, is going to be a 5-minute sled drag. If we have that handy, if you have a sled at home, you're going to push that sled for 5 minutes straight. Yes, straight. If we do not have that, though, which most of us will not, I'll probably say 95% of us, you guys will grab whatever you have handy, that dumbbell, that odd object, whatever it may be, you're going to throw that over your shoulder. You're going to put it on your back, however you want to do it, and you're going to jog for 5 minutes. Okay, 5 total minutes. So if you guys are going to have a dumbbell, I'm not really sure how the dumbbell is going to work yet. So you can hold it here like this and jog with it. You could place it on your back like so and just kind of take a light jog with it. Just make sure you have your arms around it. Hold it any way you want. You guys can also hold it, here. You can hold it however you like. If you have an odd object, I'd almost more recommend that than just a dumbbell. I'm just saying that because some people may only have that. But if you have an odd object handy, like a sandbag or something on a backpack, you can throw that dumbbell in the backpack and hold that. Either way is entirely fine, guys. We're just basically going for a 5-minute weighted jog, okay? I did one of these the other day, and they're actually pretty good. It's pretty difficult, okay? So again, you're finishing off with 5 minutes of that. That isn't scored, guys. It's just one of those things where I want you guys to do it. I think it's a great way to remember Cortez and Matty. And again, we want to pay tribute to that workout as close to it as possible, and while still allowing you guys to perform it at home, okay? So that is going to be our workout for today, guys. I'm super excited about this one. Should be fun. And I just want to say shout out to Rolly, thinking about you a little bit yesterday, man. I know how much you love Gil and all that stuff, so I wish we could do this here right now. I really do. But like I said, we're going to hit it tomorrow, hit it hard, and have fun, guys. Enjoy.